G'day, I'm Lindsay Waddington, and thank you for joining us today with our episode from Norfolk Island again. And we've got one of the local legends over here. I've got to know him in the last few years. He's a great bloke, fantastic entertainer, and I'd have to say probably plays to as many people as us from all around the world doing all the famous fish fries and that over here. Would you welcome Trent Christian?
Thank you, Waddo, and thank you, everyone.
So tell us, mate, you've got a lot of history here on Norfolk Island. Now, you're connected by blood here?
Yep.
Yeah, can you let the people know a little bit around the world, you know, your connection to Norfolk and how you got here and that?
Yeah, sure. My surname is Christian, and I think we're sort of pretty much well known with the Mutiny on the Bounty, you know, and my ancestor, Fletcher Christian, he was sort of the ringleader, I guess, with the Mutiny.
Oh, you were a Fletcher Christian, sort of.
Yeah. So anyway, I was born on Pitcairn Island, where they originally settled, you know, when they sent Bligh adrift. And of course, many years later, in 1856, they shifted the whole community to Norfolk Island. And a few years later, my side of the family went back home. And I growing up on Pitcairn, we heard about Norfolk, but I never had the opportunity to leave the island until I was 16 years old. And when we left Pitcairn to come out for a sort of like a family holiday with my other siblings and mum and dad, mum and dad had been to Norfolk prior, and they said to us, we're going to go into Norfolk Island. And we were pretty keen. We were really homesick, really, to be really honest. We just wanted to go back to Pitcairn, and mum and dad said, no, we'll go to Norfolk for a couple of weeks. So we did, and came here and just fell in love with this beautiful island because of our connection. Yeah, and all your children born on Norfolk? Yes. Yeah. Well, one of my sons was medevac. We had to have a medevac to Westmead, back in the old days if there were complications, But yeah, no, my other son was born here. Yeah.
So what's a rough week for you, Trent? Because I know you do the famous fish fries and you're one of the go-to entertainers here. You've got a range of music you can do, and you do a lot of language stuff, which has been really nice to hear you do during the week.
Yeah.
But what's an average week here on Norfolk for you?
Go to work and I entertain. I entertain twice a week. And doing the fish fries and stuff. There's some nights where, I might do an extra show. It's like here at the hotel where we played tonight, they might have an island theme night or something. And so I fill in bits and pieces too. But yeah, mostly I just work my 7:30 till 4 every day and sing twice a week. Yeah, I used to do the markets. I used to, but I did that for 20 odd years, and I decided I'm going to have a Sunday off for a while now.
I think I might have played ukulele with you there one time.
Did? Yes.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And is it one of those things where it makes it really hard? Like, so Pitcairn, you've come out here, you've here, but you would have a lot of family still over there?
I do. My mum and dad still live out on Pitcairn, as well as two of my brothers, yeah.
And we've been very lucky to bring people over here to holiday and that now for the last half a dozen years, and it's such a beautiful place, but we're finding that sometimes it's hard to keep your young family here. They go to the mainland now, either to New Zealand or Australia or whatever, and so now I suppose you're even spreading even further.
Yeah, we are, and it's funny you mentioned that because my eldest son, he's actually on Pitcairn Island at the moment. He went up there a month ago. Sorry, time flies. He's been up there now a month ago, and he's gone up there to spend a bit of time with his grandparents, my mum and dad, and he absolutely loves it. So so good, really, really good.
So now we've just seen this week being here, a cruise ship's got into town.
Yeah.
It's like your population just doubles.
Yeah, basically, and it's not that often it happens, They do often come here, but, the success rate of getting them ashore hasn't been really that good, but it's been really, really good, we've had. And apparently there's one next Friday. And
wow.
So we're maybe it might be lucky again,
Yeah, it's got to be great for the island, is it, having an influx like that?
Yeah, it is. Look, you hear things around town, like, it's got its ups and downs, as you can only imagine, our infrastructure here and stuff struggles a bit with certain things, if that makes sense, But yeah, it's, there's good and there's bad. There's always got to be pros and cons. But yeah. As long as they're spending money and You know, it gets spread out through the community. It's great. Yeah.
Well, I've got to say to people around there, we're lucky. We've got a lot of people all around the world following the channel. So, but you can look up Trent Christian, his music. Great singer. I know you'd love his stuff.
Thank you.
We're going to ask a question, mate.
Yeah.
So we don't need to embarrass you because I already know you're around 75-year-old. You just look really good. But
Thank you.
Can you remember the very first song you learnt?
Yes, I honestly can. I honestly can. And it was when I was 13 years old on Pitcairn Island. I've always wanted to play an instrument because back on the island we have very regular jam sessions, you know, and I couldn't play an instrument, so I used to just sing along, as part of the group. And I used to sit in an envy watching other people playing the guitar or the ukulele, or my mum played the stretched accordion. And a school teacher said at school one day, said he's going to do guitar lessons, and I just got so excited. And so a friend of the family's gave me a guitar to use, and the first song that I learned was Hank Williams' "I Saw the Light."
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah. It was my very first song that I started, because it's 3 chords.
And how old would you have been?
I was 13.
13, eh? Hank Williams.
Yes.
Country music.
Yeah.
And you've got a strong tie with country music. Like I notice in your sets you do a lot of country.
Yeah, and the reason for that too is because on Pitcairn, where I'm from, there's no music stores or nothing like that, and the only radio station that we used to be able to pick up on Pitcairn, because where we are, if you look or Google where Pitcairn is on the map, was normally late at night. We used to get in the old. Remember is it MW band, medium wave or something? And we used to pick up a Sacramento country music station in America.
Oh, wow.
And we used to just sit around it. And so mum and dad, they and my grandparents and everyone on Pitcairn was all country music, just that was the only kind of music there was, And so we used to get all records of, your Charlie Prides and, your Hank Williams and Johnny Hortons. And so I grew up with that,
I saw you doing a lot of that tonight, that stuff. Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's what I love,
Yeah.
It's.
And some of your language songs, if people track down your music and bought your music and that, it's stuff you've written?
Yeah, I've done a couple. I'm not a good songwriter at all. I prefer to ruin other people's songs for them. But I've done a couple. Yeah. So I'm guessing, Waddo, you've been here a few times now. You know how we greet someone or in our language. Have you? Yeah.
Oh, it's very romantic.
No,
the other way. Sorry.
The other gesture. So, folks, if you hear someone on the island say to you, "What away?" they're asking you, "How are you?" Obviously.
Yeah.
Normally, if there's more than one person or a group of people or stuff, we throw an extra word in there, which is "Yorley," meaning you all. So we'd say "What away, Yorley." Depending on how your day's going, some people they might say "I good" or "I kushu," means it's going well. Of course, if they're having a bad day, they say "I not are good." In speaking, I might say to you, in English, you would say, "What are you doing tomorrow?" Well, in our language, we would normally say, "What are you doing, Mauler?" And things like that.
You don't say V's either, do you? Like we'd say valley.
Yeah, and we say wally. We use
Wally,
W mainly in its place, So
is that where V-dub gets dub-dub from?
Probably.
Oh, that's really good. And so the language is like an extension. Is it like a Tahitian extension onto the English language, or is it?
No, it's an old. It's more. To be honest, I've heard people say it's more of an old, not sea shanty, but what do you call it? The old seafarers type, language mixed in. Sort of.
Okay.
And there's a little bits of Tahitian in there, but. I went to Tahiti in August last year and couldn't understand a single word they say. There were some food and stuff that was similar, but the language itself is
And
totally.
Pitcairn, what language do they speak? Is it similar?
Same as what they
Same
use
as Norfolk.
here. Yeah, same as they use here. So we pretend we understand each other, but it's a pretty unique language.
Well, it's been great having a chat with you, mate. It's always a pleasure working with you. You're one of my favourite people I've met in all my travels.
Thanks, Waddo.
Trent Christian, Norfolk Island, from Pitcairn.
Thanks, Waddo. And thanks, everyone. See you all in Mauler.
Tomorrow?
Means see you tomorrow.
Oh,
Well done, you got it!
Thanks, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed today's episode. For more episodes, you can check out my YouTube channel or the podcast app and follow my social media at Lindsay Waddington Music. See you all down the track somewhere.